Okay. I'm going to get started with you guys who are prompt. Tristan and I had the honor of sitting at the table with this incredible man named Bryon Ellington. He's like a little wizard. Not We were sitting there. I'm like, that guy over there is really smart. I can tell. I wasn't wrong. But I get to introduce him today. He's become a really good friend, in addition to just an incredible leader within our eXp company. He is the VP of Learning. He came from Realogy, am I right on that? And Keller Williams, and ran their departments for learning. And just a great guy, always open to learning himself to help us be better. And the programs, when Tristan and I were sitting in New Orleans, we were just blown away, weren't we, Tristan, with everything that he was doing. And it's exciting to have that kind of opportunity for all of us. Everyone's loading in here. It's exciting to have that kind of opportunity to have all of us growing and something that we can build our business off of, no matter what stage of our business we're in, whether we are focused on as a solo agent, a brand new agent that's never sold a house, to a solo agent who's like stuck at a plateau, to a team, to a mega team, to a team leader to grow ourselves personally as within leadership. The opportunity is massive for you guys to grow. Even if it's like I see Barry Pulver on here and he does mostly attraction. Um, so to have someone, even for attraction, when you're talking to agents about their opportunity to grow themselves, because most people are looking to sell more homes and have more opportunity. It's just a great opportunity to have Bryon leading this and having the tools and resources. He's going to share everything with you all. You're going to see everything that's available, and it's going to help you be able to lead your groups, your teams, yourself, and get on track faster to sell more homes and put more money in your pocket, because the ultimate goal is to take care of our families, and that's what we're here for. So, Bryon Ellington, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Craig and I and everybody on this call is super excited to have you here. So, thank you so much for taking the time and being a part of this with us.
Hey, thanks for letting me come play. And by the way, I'm going to tell my wife and kids you said I was smart. They're not going to believe you, but I'm going to tell them. Hey, thanks everybody for letting me come talk to you this morning. I've come to horse trade. Can I make you a deal? If I share with you all the resources for free that are available that you didn't know that we had through eXp University, if you'll sit through that and indulge me and laugh at my bad jokes, could I share some brilliance from some of the research that we've been doing from some of our top agents about how they're generating leads across a variety of lead generation methodologies? Is that a fair trade?
Yeah.
Cool. And if I'm talking the entire time, it's going to get real boring real fast. So please do interrupt. I am going to PowerPoint you to death, but don't worry, I'll give you this afterward. I'll send this to Shelly and Bernadette, and then they can distribute to the rest of you as you need. Okay? Does everybody see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I think you're probably looking at my blue steel. So hi, nice to meet you. A bit about me. My mom was a real estate agent for 30 years. So of course I swore I was never going to get into real estate. So hi, Bryon Ellington, realtor. Nice to meet you. I was an agent for a number of years. I worked for that red Kool-Aid company. I not only drank the Kool-Aid, I mixed it. I was their chief products officer, chief learning officer, and COO for their international franchising. I spent about 15 years there. Moved from that company. I jokingly say I got thrown in the back of a trunk, kidnapped, and driven to New Jersey, where I served out a 6-year sentence with Realogy, now called Anywhere, whoops, now called Compass. If you're not familiar, they own Caldwell Century, Better Homes and Gardens, Sotheby's, and all those. I ran training and coaching for all of their brands for a number of years, and then was COO and Chief Development Officer for Century for a couple of years. Went out on my own, started a coaching company, was sitting around in elastic waistband pants all day long, enjoying myself until my old friends Glenn and Leo from my Red Kool-Aid days called me up and said, "What are you doing?" And so I came over here in October 23 as Chief Learning Officer. Today I work with the university team, the Elevate coaching team, and KGCI, our radio, which I guarantee you, most of you are going, wait, we have a radio? Yes, we have a radio station. I'll talk more about that in a second. So it's delightful to meet you. I look forward to seeing you all in person at some of our events, but this is going to be great, I hope, for the next hour. All right, just a reminder as we get going here. I often say it's not paranoia if they're really out to get you, and they really are out to get you. We're going to talk about outreach in this conversation. And so I just want to remind us all we have Dial Safe. Please do use it. They are coming after you. Yes, you, lady in the back, you. There are multiple troll law firms that specialize in coming after real estate agents. Bet you didn't know that. But I do because I see the lawsuits and I see the settlement amounts. They're really good. They get either judgments or settlements out of you. So before you pick up that phone and make that call, make sure that number is not on the DNC list. You do not look good in orange jumpsuits, and neither do I. So let's stay out of that. Do the right thing. And if you don't know what that is, talk to your broker. They do. Okay. All right. My legal shock collar has now subsided. All right. So, quick temperature check in the room. Give me a one in the chat if you are a capper or above. A one in the chat if you're a capper or above. Awesome. Cool. All right. Keep going, keep going. Team leaders, give me a two in the chat if you're a team leader. Okay. All right. Good. So you guys obviously have it all figured out, right? You're good where you're at. You don't want to go any higher, right? Right? No? Oh, okay. Good, good, good. All right. So like most human beings, you're here and you want to get here, whatever that is for you, right? Could be production, could be attraction, could just be enjoyment of life and things of that nature. Um, in most business planning settings, this is a mathematical business. I mean, this is really a simple business. There's about 1.5 million of us who screw things up by trying to make it complicated, but it's really simple. If you tell me I'm at 5 million and I want to get to 10 million, well, there's a mathematical formula that I can walk you through based on the number of closings you're going to need, the number of contracts because of fall through, the number of agreements because of fall through, the number of appointments because you didn't get it signed, and then the number of contacts it takes to make those appointments. But the question is, at the end of the day, okay, that's the numeric answer, but what's the strategic answer? How do I go from here to here? How am I going to meet all those people? How am I going to take more agreements at my appointments? How am I going to make sure those agreements turn into closings more? And so for all of us, if you think about what your business did in the last 12 months, whatever that is for you, units, GCI, volume, I don't care. You got that number square in your head, what your business did in the last 12 months. Whatever that number is, your business was designed to do exactly that and not a penny more. Which means if you're a $5 million producer and you want to get to $10 million in production, you're going to have to redesign parts of your business. I went to Chick-fil-A used to do this thing called Leader Cast. And I think it was Truett Cathy Sr., the founder of Chick-fil-A, who said, I have two lists on my desk, a to-do list and a stop doing list. And I can't put anything on the to-do list until I take something, put something on the stop doing list. And for us, when you think about your business and the design of it, there's likely three things that need to change. Add, edit, delete. Add, we're going to have to add things into our business. There's things that a $10 million producer does that a $5 million producer does not do. Edit, we're going to have to tweak some things. We might have to spend more time, money, effort on some of our lead gen pillars. And then delete, well, there's things that a $5 million producer does that a $10 million producer absolutely would never do because they know it would hold them back from becoming a $10 million producer. What is that? It's interesting when you think about the delete, oftentimes that comes from leverage. And for a lot of solo producers, they go, well, I don't want a team. And to that I say, good for you. Who the hell ever said that you needed one? There are a ton of agents in this industry who haven't gotten a commission check in a while and would be delighted to take a $25 check to go hang a lockbox or a $40 check to go plant a yard sign. So getting creative in how you approach your business is going to be paramount. And there's a lot of strategies that you can learn along the way. And I'm betting, like me, whatever it is that's next for you in your business, you wish you could go talk to dozens of agents who are doing that thing right? Like if you were going to go start a new lead gen strategy, Instagram, YouTube, whatever, you would want to go talk to a couple of dozen of the best YouTube agents, ask them, what are you doing? Why do you do it that way? How do you do it? When do you do it first? What comes next? And so on and so forth, right? Well, that's what we do. When we build training, it's not me at a kitchen table at 10 p.m. at night dreaming stuff up. I hope this works. I was an agent, mom was an agent. I wouldn't put that kind of crap in front of my people. And so when it comes to the university, everything that I'm about to show you was built by going out and studying the best of the best. So as we walk through it, and I'll get to this in a little bit. The first thing I want to mention to you is I'm going to share things on here that you're not going to have known about. And you're going to go, geez, I wish I had known about that sooner. And if that's the case, I want you to take a look at Friday, big agent meeting, 11 a.m. It's broadcast on YouTube. It's about 30 minutes long. We have Glenn, Leo, Holly Mabry, Winnie Forsythe, myself, all the folks from eXp come on and share what's new in the industry, what's new in eXp, like with NAR, what's the bed, which it does a lot. We share that with you first, and we give you the strategies you need to adjust in your business. We also have top agents come on and spill beans about what they're really great at, and we have them walk you through it step by step so you can learn from them and other great things as well. So that's broadcast every Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, it'd be what, 8 a.m. Pacific. And then it's up on YouTube afterward for you all to watch as well. I'd highly encourage you to watch that. There's not much fluff in that show. It's all good stuff. So I mentioned radio. So you drive to your appointments and you listen to Barry Manilow and you wonder how I'm going to get better, right? Well, here's something else instead. Wherever you listen to podcasts, don't care, Spotify, Apple Music, doesn't matter. Wherever you listen to podcasts, go check out KGCI. We have at this point probably about 3,000 episodes in our archive. I don't care what you do in real estate, probate, commercial, luxury, doesn't matter. We have content on that. And this is top agents talking to agents. Last year alone, we had over 138,000 downloads and listens for the KGCI. So it's catching on. A lot of people really like the content and the programming. And you can listen to us live. We have a live stream, or you can go find a podcast that suits whatever it is that you're looking for. And I bet you dollars to donuts that we have at least a couple of them, no matter what it is that you're looking for. So do check that out. And by the way, those of you who are attractors, if you're doing podcasting as part of your attraction, let us know. We'd love to consider you for being a host on KGCI. We have about 60 show hosts right now. You see a few of them here with great shows available, but we're always looking for more. Okay, so I'm going to talk at the various levels that we have training. I'm going to start by talking about emerging, but don't tune out if you're not an emerging agent because you may be an attractor, you may be a team leader, and this will be important. So here's a few of the things that we have, but I'm going to talk through this. By the way, the next fast cap is July 13th. I believe, whatever that Wednesday is. So, and that registration is actually up. So this is incorrect. The next cohort is up. It's in July. FastCap is a 6 weeks program, and instead of describing it for you, let me just cut to the chase and tell you you're looking at here a tale of two numbers. The left-hand column are the people who just completed the program, just average people who just completed the program. Thank you, Shelley Johnson. The right-hand column are people who not only completed the program, but they did the bare minimum of the prescribed work in the program. This is in a 6 weeks period. So 6.9 appointments, 3.9 agreements in a 6 weeks period. Don't need you to self-indict. What did your last 6 weeks look like? What did the last 6 weeks of your team members look like? Because if it didn't look like that, come join us. And those of you who've been to FastCap before, cool. I've been to the gym before. 1987. It was a cool, crisp fall day. I remember it well. Turns out that's not how gyms work, and that's not how FastCap works either. This is a productivity program, not an informational program. Yes, we went out and we interviewed 70 rookie rock stars who did at least 2 deals in their first 6 months in the industry and 12 deals their first year in the industry. That was what it took to get on our call list. And we studied 70 of them and we put all of that in here. But that's not the main thing. James Clear in Atomic Habits says, we imitate the close, the many, and the powerful. Who are you imitating in terms of your day-to-day habits? because if you're not in proximity to people who are getting after it on a daily basis, come be part of this. We have people, by the end of last year, we had offered fast cap 17 times. We had one person who had taken it 11 times. And we have people who've taken it multiple times. By the way, we also have icon agents, multiple time icon agents who come in and do fast cap, not because they're looking to learn what a listing presentation is, but because they want the discipline, the accountability, and the energy of a group who's out to get it. So if you are out to get it, come join us and be part of it. As part of this, we recently introduced a few things. If you're Canadian, throw a three in the chat. If you're Canadian, throw a three in the chat. Just want to know who I'm talking to here. Okay, no Canadians. Wow. All right, well, let's work on that. If you're a US agent, this is applicable to you. We started offering realty.com. So what we know is if you'll go through FastCap and do the work, you're going to be successful. And so Leo and I were chatting over Christmas break, and we were talking about how many people drop out of FastCap along the way, and what we could do to encourage them to stay in just a little bit longer. Um, Thomas Edison, I'm going to butcher this quote, but he said, "It's remarkable how many people quit right before they succeed." And that's true in life, and that's definitely true in FastCap. So what we decided is if you'll go through FastCap, you complete the course, do the work, we're going to give you Realty.com's Pro package for free for 12 months on us. I'm going to pay for it for you. And a few things that you'll get. First, there's some buyer cultivation tools, nationwide IDX that attaches you to the referral. There's a seller cultivation tool, which is if you know HomeBot or Fellow, it's very much like that, right? You can put your database on a valuation drip. Cool thing about it is it gives you three valuations. And what we teach the students to do is don't wait for your people in your database to say, well, which one's right? Go to them and say, none of them are right because none of them have seen what you and Judy did to the home since you bought it 2 years ago. So if you've got something coming up soon and want to know what it's actually worth, I'd love to come over, take a look, and give you a thought about what it'd be worth on the open market today. That's a script, by the way. So in addition to that, though, we give leads and give you a few headlines here. So this was the pilot. This was just a 6 weeks pilot with 384 folks. We gave them 1,930 leads. Here's something you need to understand. 90% of these are seller listing leads. These are not buyer crap. These are sellers who've raised their hand and asked for a cash offer for their home. We, because of our partnership with Express Offers, give you up to four cash offers. So you can call that seller and say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, Bryon Ellington with eXp, on behalf of Realty.com, I saw that you requested a cash offer for your home. I actually have four for you. I'd love to sit down with you, talk through the differences of them all, see the home, verify the cash offers, and then also talk to you about what your home might be worth on the open market should you choose to list with me. Would Tuesday at 2 or Wednesday at 3 work better for you? Listing agents here, be honest in the chat real quick. How long did it take you to become a listing agent? Be honest. How long did it take you to become a listing agent? Put it in the chat. I'm just curious. Carol, thank you for being honest. Years. Yeah, that's about right. For most of us, it takes our original buyer clients selling for us to become listing agents, right? We have brand new agents taking listings. We have brand new agents taking multiple listings. We have brand new agents taking $1 million listings. My friend Jeremy Kane, I was telling a group about this, and he raised his hand. And he said, "Hey, Gabrielle Lawson was in your fast cap. She called me up the other day, panicked because she had $1 million listing appointment, didn't know what to do. So I went on it with her," which is a great problem to have, right? So this is an opportunity. By the way, icons, team leaders, I love you, but this is not for you, right? This is meant to help those agents who need to bridge that valley of death. Besides that, you're probably not going to do the work of FastCap for the full 6 weeks. I know you. I love you. I know you. But if you have newer or struggling agents in your realm, whether it be your team, your rev share group, just friends of yours, put them in this program, right? This is, and by the way, let me just say this, 1,930. We give you this for a full 12 months. This was just 6 weeks. Do the math. It's about 5 leads per agent. Over the course of a year, that'd be over 40 as a run rate. And again, 90% of these are seller leads. Could you even imagine starting your first year in real estate with listings? What that would have done for your business? Holy cow. So please do come take advantage of this. We are even instituting coaching for them post FastCap to help them with these conversions so they get even better at it. Fast Attract, how many of you would love to have more rev share, but you don't want to be a gross recruiter? Yeah. Ew. We don't want you to be a gross recruiter either. So we went out and we interviewed 58 people who had built their rev share groups within just the last 3 years because we wanted people who were doing it today, doing it big. And on average, those people that we interviewed, those 58, had added 19 FLQAs in just a 12-month period. And we put all that into Fast Track. It's a 6 weeks program. We give you the scripts. We give you the value proposition that you can take with you, EXPs, and we also teach you how to package your own. And by your own, I don't just mean you, I mean your RevShare group too. You've got some pretty badass people in your RevShare group, and we teach you how to take advantage of that. And then we have you actually doing live bullet calls during the program, 20 minutes per session. We've had people have great success with this program. So if you're interested, the next one of these begins in July as well. I can't remember the date, but it's on expuniversity.com as well. Uh, my elite solos and my team leaders, this is for you. Did you know that twice per month for each of you, elite solos twice per month, team leaders twice per month, we do calls just for you? One call, the solo agents, the first Tuesday and the third Tuesday, team leaders, first Thursday, third Thursday. Okay. And all this is up on expuniversity.com. One's called Team Mastery, the other's called Elite Solo Agent. On these two calls, one call is with Leo and a top coach, John Cheplack, Tom Ferry, Brian Buffini, you name it. We've had them on these calls. The second call is with a top agent who's going to come and share about specific things they do. So we had Suman Kim, who's done over 200 million from YouTube, talk about how he does YouTube. We had Kim Frazier, who's going to do over 100 million this year, and her primary strategy is geographic farming led by open houses. So she came on and shared her strategy. Each month we have a different person come on. Team leaders, same thing for you. We've had Jeff Cavender come on and share his recruiting system. We've had Allison Greco talk about how in the first 3 months she expects that her new team members are going to do 3 self-generated deals within 90 days. And they do, by the way. And so she talked about her system. Every single month we do that. It's an amazing call and it's completely free to you. Plug it in. If you're sitting there solving your problems by yourself, you're doing it wrong. Come, let other people help you. Others have lived before you. They've solved your problems. Just plug in. It's worthwhile and it's free. Plus, when you go on expuniversity.com and register for these, you'll have access to the archives of all the past calls. There's some golden in our hills. Um, Last fall, right after EXPCon, we did AI Accelerator. We had these lovely people come on and share different strategies. We are doing that again. It's only been 6 months, but the tech has already evolved. We didn't even have co-work and some of the additions of the LLMs that we have now. So July 14th, we're going to have sessions like AI as your personal assistant, AI vibe coding. We're going to talk about co-work, how to use co-work, Claude Code and co-work in your business. We're going to talk about AI for marketing, AI for listings, and more. It's going to be about, what is it, 6 weeks that we're doing these. And we have a ton of guest speakers, including our very own Mr. Glenn Sanford, who's going to run a session on AI and your CRM and how to automate that. So stay tuned for that. The marketing for that will start next week, and that'll be available on eXp University for registering. Okay, here's where I'm going to start pouring into you from some of the things that we've learned along the way. In order to do that, I want to tell you a quick story. So NAR says for every 100 people that you know, 8 are going to transact this year. For every 100 people that you know, 8 are going to transact. Question for you. How many of those eight are you going to get as representation? How many of those eight are you going to be able to work? It ain't eight, by the way. Everybody's got a cousin Daryl and another cousin Daryl who's a realtor. So the question is how many? And the answer to that is actually a function of your database. How many people you have that you are regularly communicating with and adding value to. So at the end of last year, Zillow Flex teams, and by the way, eXp has the largest Zillow Flex team and the most number of Zillow Flex teams in the world. They came to me and they said, "Hey, would you help us create training for our team?" And I said, "Sure." And they said, "Oh, and by the way, we don't like Zillow very much and we want to get away from it." And I said, "Great, I think I can help with that." So we have a ton of training, but for them, what I did was something special. I did a little contest with them. We called it the Lucky 7K. And the idea behind the contest was that we were going to have teams of seven people on each team, and they were going to shoot for 1,000 contacts each, so 7,000 contacts per team, unique conversations, meaning if I talk to Barry today, I can't count him tomorrow, right? So this is what happened. Take a look at the results. Take a look at the winning team. Take a look at the winning people across all three of the top three teams. If you do the mathematical formula to figure out how many people would I need to do business with out of my database to fulfill my goals, we're all on a treadmill of some sort or another, right? If you're a FISBO agent, you're on the FISBO treadmill. If you're an expired agent, you're on the expired treadmill. And I knew a guy who's a Mike Ferry coach, good friend, who for 10 years was on the expired bandwagon. And every morning at 8 a.m., he started dialing for dollars. Didn't have a database. So every morning at 8 a.m., he was dialing for dollars for 10 flipping years until he started building his database. As soon as he started building his database, 3 months later, he wasn't calling expireds anymore. By the way, cool people know cool people. Jerks know jerks. Who do you want to work with? Because your database has a lot of cool people, and you know who's cool and who's not. Expireds, good luck. Open houses, you take what you get. So when it comes to building your business through your database, the question is, working that mathematics, how many people do you need in your database? How many people do you have? How many people do you need? And again, go back to the numbers. Let's say out of those eight, you're going to capture two of them. Okay, great. But if your business needs to put out 20 deals in a year for you to be happy in life, well, that's not 100 people, that's 1,000. And if you're adding number 1,000 on December 31st, are you going to hit your goals for the year from your database? And the answer is no. You have to have these folks in there. You have to be adding value such that when they're ready, they'll think of you. So the question is, how quickly can you add people to your database? Now take a look at these numbers again. What lies are you telling yourself about what's possible? Take a look at Summer Hoffman, by the way. I remember her results because out of 582 unique conversations, she set 38 buyer appointments and I think 13 listing appointments. This was 4 weeks, by the way, gang. This was 4 weeks. So again, what lies are you telling yourself about what's possible in your business? And none of these people were bleeding. None of them had to be hospitalized after. They were all okay. They were all okay. So, why do I talk about that? Well, because we've been on a tear lately. We've been working through this series, we call it Icon Lead Mastering. And for each form of lead generation, we are going out and we are interviewing 24 badasses. Can I say badasses here? I'm saying badasses. There, I said it 3 times. We went out and interviewed 24 badasses at each form of lead generation, 24 of them minimum, so that we could share with you what they're doing. Look, all of you have probably been through real estate training where an individual taught you what they do or did 10 years ago, which is cool if you're like them. You have the same price point, you have the same market, you have the same customer, and you have the same behavioral style. Hey, really quickly, get your pen handy. I'm going to teach you how to do the perfect open house. You ready? Here we go. First, we're going to knock 250 doors around the target property. How many of you did I just lose? So instead of just presenting one way of doing it, we went out and we interviewed at least 2 dozen folks so we could show you a multitude of ways in which these people are succeeding. And I'll talk a little bit more about that, especially when it comes to open houses. But first, sphere of influence and database. I think we interviewed 28 folks for this. And in this course, we have a 60-page participant guide with all their strategies in it. And I think this course takes 2.5 hours. We walk you through all their strategies step by step. We also give you a 12-month engagement system. And so here you see that each month, each week, we give you their direct message scripts, their text message scripts, their email scripts, their phone scripts, client gift ideas, client event ideas. And instead of just giving you the idea, we take it a step further. Let me stop sharing and I'm going to give you an example of what I mean here. And I'm going to show you Mr. Jeremy Kane's playbook. So here is one of several dozen playbooks that we give you as part of this. So in the course, we teach you a variety of things. One of them we teach you is outreach to your database, different ideas, whether it be client parties, whatever the case might be. So this is Jeremy Kane, and here's what he does. He calls it the annual review. He calls up his sphere of influence, his past clients, and he says, "Hey, you'll sit down with a financial planner for an hour each year alone, maybe two, for a $25,000 stock portfolio. Now, who's consulting you about the largest asset that you own, how much it's appreciated, and how to make it appreciate more? Whether or not you're moving, doesn't matter." And then he does. He sits down with them. By the way, he sends them a box of crumble cookies. Who's going to say no to that? And then we give you all of his scripts. We give you his strategy. Here's what he does during the meeting. Here's what he prepares for. It's not just a CMA, it's a little bit more. We give you his scripts and how he talks about it. Then we teach you how he sets up his referrals for his vendors. And then we teach you how he sets up his referrals for himself, how he uses that opportunity to get them. By the way, for each of these classes, we give you an AI tool that's been programmed with all of the research, all of the interview transcripts, all of the course materials, everything, so that you can take this AI prompt and say, "I like Jeremy's strategy, but here's who I am. Make it fit me." Or Kirby Chan's, or Meredith Alderson's, or whoever's strategy that we give you. And again, we give you several dozen of these different strategies from these different agents, and we give you over a dozen of these playbooks for each course. Let me see here. So, go back, and then let me stop sharing and reshare again. So that's Sphere of Influence database. By the way, we did the same thing for open houses. Next Tuesday, somebody keep me honest, June 23rd is next Tuesday, yeah? I need a visual. Yes? Yes. Okay, thank you. Next Tuesday, we're doing this course. So again, we went out and we interviewed the best of the best. We give you an entire before, during, and after system. So a few things. If you're going, well, I'm not really an open house agent because I don't have listings. So what? Neither did they. None of them were holding their own listings as opens. And we'll talk more about that in a second. But we teach you their strategies. And by the way, all of them said the same thing to us. These are top open house icon level agents. They all said the open house is almost an afterthought. It's the icing on the cake. It's not the cake. It's what you do before, during, and after the open house that's going to generate the bulk of your leads, not necessarily the people walking through the front door. So we give you all of their strategies. So I want to tell you something. So I mentioned about door knocking. Just throw a one in the chat if you're brave enough to knock a door. Awesome. And for the rest of you, here's what I'd say. So I'm going to compare and contrast. Smita Singh, a friend of mine in Sugarland, Houston. Um, she won't knock a door to save her life. Now, when she does an open house, she puts out 40 to 80 branded open house signs. Now, I know other agents who will knock a door, but they put out those cheapy red directional Amazon, 200 pack for $50 open house signs. A few things about that. Number one, if you're putting out those cheapy red directional signs, stop it. You're missing a huge opportunity to brand yourself as the dominant agent in that neighborhood. What you want is to put out branded open house signs. By the way, we have a discount for 60% off with Build a Sign through our partnership, and we give you that in this course to go get your own branded directional signs. Now, Smita, again, puts out 40 to 80. Could you imagine if she knocked doors around the properties? What people would say to her? Oh my God, you're real. And oh my God, you're here. I see you everywhere. And about knocking the doors, I'll give you a few approaches. Kim Fraser, again, going to do over 100 million this year, primarily from open houses. She won't knock the door, but she goes around and she puts her door hanger out, inviting them to the open house. When the neighbors are there, she talks to them, but she's not knocking the door. That's one approach. Renee Funk, she's going to knock the door. She's not going to ask for anything. She's not asking for your contact information. She's not, trying to get you to sign up for anything. She just simply comes and invites you, says the neighbors are selling their home and have asked to invite all the local neighbors for a pre-open house gathering, wine and cheese, whatever, so that you can see the home, ask me questions about the evaluation and things like that, right? You'd be surprised, by the way, when she turns to walk away, how many people go, wait, 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 wait. How's the market? Boom. She hasn't asked for anything. Now, I could also teach you Cody Weitzel's approach. Cody Weitzel does over 200 deals a year from open houses. Now, when he knocks the door, he wants to do a listing presentation, and he does. And he takes tons of listings from open houses and will give you his exact script, his exact approach. And you can choose whichever one of those avatars fits you the most. The point is to learn from these folks and expand your open house repertoire. Now, if you're going, Brian, I would do all this. By the way, I said before, during, and after. Let me teach you this real quick. So this came to us from Brian Kelsey. This is really good, not just for open houses, by the way. This is called buyer differentiation because every single one of you can do the exact thing I can do, which is put a buyer on the MLS drip. Now, when you walk into Brian Kelsey's open house, you're going to see a pop-up banner that says Four Ponds. And when you walk in, Brian's going to say, hey, welcome in. If you wouldn't mind, please registering. Not only would the sellers like to have a record of who showed up, but I'll also give you access to my Four Ponds. What's that? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Most agents and their buyers fish out of one pond, and we call that the MLS. But you want to see all the homes available to you that fit your criteria, right? Well, that's why I fish out of Four Ponds to not only show you what's on the MLS, but also give you access to off-market inventory as well that fit your criteria. That's differentiation. What's interesting, so Brian does Four Ponds. When we went, there's actually 9 ponds. If you want to know what the ninth one is, come next Tuesday. But we ran into Smita Singh, who, by the way, before she does an open house, she calls up all the local builders and says, hey, what inventory do you have that's not yet on the market that you would want me to show my buyers this weekend? Because I have an open house and I'll likely have some people to bring by. You might not be surprised that after a few years of doing that, Smita now gets calls proactively from those builders to market their inventory. That's called building relationships. Also, too, one of the open house ponds is listing agents. So, a few reasons why you would want to call listing agents. Number one, they have frustrated buyers who didn't get the last one. Number two, they had a last one. They can give you wisdom about selling in this market. Number three, you're going to be negotiating against them at some point or another. Really good to have good relationships with them. I don't care if they're a jerk. Really good to have good relationships with them. And number four, if they're not a jerk, if they're a cool person, sooner or later, their broker is going to wet the bed. They always do. And don't you want to be the person that they call up and go, well, tell me about this eXp thing? You do. You do. You very much do. So build those relationships. And there's a number of other ponds. By the way, I'm not saying to use all 9 every time you go do an open house. I'm saying pick a few where you can offer those buyers, and it's not just for open houses, any buyers. Pick a few that you can offer buyers off-market properties that other agents can't. because it will stand out. And then you won't have to answer the question about why that percentage point, whatever that is for you, is on your buyer broker agreement. They'll understand your value, right? Okay, so that's June 23rd. Let me switch real quick. I want to show you something. So I mentioned before, are you guys seeing this screen? Yeah, you guys are seeing this screen, yes? The open house hub? Yeah. Okay, cool. So I mentioned before that none of these folks that we interviewed, these 2 dozen plus open house badasses, were doing their own open houses. They were doing somebody else's listing as an open house. Payson Robertson is one of the people that I showed you there. We have a playbook for. He did 100 open houses in 100 days. By the way, by day 45, he had 15 deals in process. By month six, he had 37 deals in process. Payson joined real estate when he was 19. His sphere of influence was doing keg stands, not buying houses. So he did this out of necessity, and it really worked. So what we wanted to do is build an app that would do a lot of the things that a lot of open house apps do, but then take it to the nth degree. So let me show you this. Here, you see Find eXp listings. I'm going to search in my area. 786. Oh, here we go. So I can look through other eXp listings. By the way, when it comes to holding other agents' homes open, it needs to be an eXp agent, not a Remax, not a Keller. Okay. So I can go in here and I can find a listing and I can go, ooh, I like this property right here, this Bryce Lane property. And you'll see it's listed by Crystal Weagle. Okay, well, now what do I do? Well, we give you a script. By the way, when you go and set up your profile on here, you can say, when I go to do an open house, I knock this many doors, I post this many social media posts, I do this, I do that. And then what you'll see is that gets put into here. So, Crystal, here's who I am. I see your home here. If you'll let me hold it open, here's what I'll do for you. And by the way, I'm going to give you a white labeled report at the end without my branding that you can hand directly to your seller so that you, Crystal, can say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, this is what I caused to have happened this past weekend to get your home sold. And I'll show you that report in just a second. So we can send this off. Now, we did a test pilot this last month after the April 28th open house class. We did a 30-day challenge with the agents who went through that course. And I'll share more about that in a little bit. But basically, nobody had trouble securing an open house to hold open. Because of this tool, they were able to quickly find one that met their criteria, whatever that was, and then ask that agent. And the only times the agent said no is if the seller was going to be there or if there were other mitigating circumstances. But they all said, hey, next one, I'd love for you to do it. Listing agents here, listing agents. How many of you would let an open house be held by another eXp agent? Put a one in the chat. Every crowd I ask that question to, hands go up. You're busy. You don't necessarily have the time to do it. Your sellers would like it, but you don't have the time. Other agents do. All right. So once you found that listing, here's a few cool things that you can do. So here's the listing. I'm going to go ahead and remove this for now, but I want to show you this. So here I go in, I schedule my open house for whatever times I want. I've already got this one held open. Once I've scheduled it, I can go and create a QR code lead magnet. This is cool. So I can either do the listing details and gives all the details for that property plus all the photos. I can go create a similar properties. So same area, same bed, bath, whatever. I can search for eXp listings and I can quickly add those properties that I think are comparable to it, whatever I want to do. And I can create a hot sheet from that. Or I can upload my own PDF, like my 9 ponds, for example. I can upload that. I can either download it as a PDF to have as a handout, or I can attach it to the current listing. And here's why you would want to do that. Once you have your lead magnet in place, whatever it is, now you have a better script. Now, instead of the same tired come online that every agent use, hi, welcome to my open house. The sellers have asked, did everybody who comes through provide a record of their presence here? That crappy script doesn't get you anything but Mickey at mickeymouse.com and 555-555-5555 is the phone number. Now you've got a reason for them to give you real live bullets information about themselves. So once you do, here we can preview that so you can see what that looks like. You see the two homes I selected, all the property detail. It also has the listing agent on there to be compliant. Um, and now here we go. We can then set up our kiosk mode either on your tablet. You notice that I had to put in a security code. They can't get out of kiosk mode without that security code, so nobody can mess with your tablet while you're in the back showing the kitchen. Or they can use their own phone to snap the QR code. A few things about this. Oh, by the way, I'm in French. One second. By the way, if you're French, we have this here available for you. If you're in Quebec, we have to be French to be in compliance. So let me just make sure I set my profile to English. Sorry, give me one second. I was playing with this yesterday. Okay, there we go. So once you are in here in kiosk mode, you'll notice. Oh, yeah, I'll fix that. It only asks for another for a few things, and if you're not French, let me give you this one. Yeah, here we go. If you are not French, I'll tell you what this says. Uh, Here, it says name, your email address, phone number. So let's enter in a phone number, and it asks, "Do you work with an agent?" If they say yes, cool. What's that agent's name? What's their phone number? Because I want to send them the details for the property. This I call the BS test because so many people are going to say, yeah, 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 I've got an agent. Once they click here, they've just agreed to not only agency disclosure, I'm not your agent, but they've also agreed to TCPA DNC waiver, meaning I now have the right to contact them at whatever number that they've given me. The second page of it, you'll see bed, bath. This is not necessary for them to complete it. They can automatically go ahead and just stop there, and that lead has been created. If they want to give me the rest of their search information, so Mr. and Mrs. Seller, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, thanks for filling in that first form. If you want to fill out the second form, I'll give you access to all the off-market properties and also the on-market properties so that you have a list of all the properties as soon as they hit the market. Once they do, that's funny, you'll notice that it's all created here. You can export to .csv. I'm working with all three of our CRMs of choice so that anytime somebody registers in your open house, the lead email is sent to your database, to your email, and it's automatically creating a record in our CRMs of choice, no matter if you use Lofty, Close, or Bold Trail. So it's all integrated. Now, here's a cool thing that we did. I mentioned that challenge that we did. Here's what happened during that challenge. We had 34 agents go create 180 open houses. For the open houses here on the leaderboard, they averaged 4.29 registrations per open house in a 30-day period. It's about five per agent, five open houses per agent, roughly 20 leads per leaderboard open house, 30 days. Again, what lies are you telling yourself about what's possible in your business? And by the way, if you're going, well, how do they do so many open houses? We had one guy, we had weekly check-in calls, Jonathan Yao. He actually called in from an open house during the middle of the day. If you go, well, is there a whole lot of traffic? Depends on what kind of lead generation you do around it. But also, too, Joe Turco, who was an open house agent, he called them office hours. He did 5 open houses a week, 2 hours each. He said, look, I'm going to work. Should I work at my house or should I work at an open house where somebody can walk in? And so he's at an open house doing text-based sphere of influence follow-up. So he's not on the phone if somebody walks in, and also social media content at the open house. So this tool is available. By the way, I mentioned the challenge. One of the things that you're going to see with these challenges is that you can go up here and you can create your own challenge. So if you want to do it with a few friends, you want to do it with your team. I know a lot of teams have open house requirements for team members each month, or you want to do it with your RevShare group. You can go on and create your own challenges and hold each other accountable that way. So that's a little bit about that. Going back here and let me do this. And again, that class is going to be June 23rd. We'll give you all of this and more at that class. Okay. Social media. Am I doing one time? Okay, good. Um, I bet you would do more social media, except You don't like the way you look, you don't like the way you sound, and you don't know what to say when that camera comes on. Am I pretty close? So cool. We went out and we did the same thing for Instagram. I'll talk about that in a second. And we're doing the same thing for YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok, interviewing a minimum of 2 dozen agents who are top agents at each of those platforms. So let me show you what came out of Instagram. So we went out and interviewed, I think it was 26 top Instagram agents about what they're doing to generate massive leads off of Instagram. And in that class, we're going to give you a ton of stuff. One of the things we're going to give you is a 365-day calendar with a different post idea each day from some of our top agents so that you never again have to say, I don't know what to go post. You absolutely will know what to go post. Plus, we'll give you an AI tool that allows you to tailor those post strategies to you. All of the different post strategies that our agents use, all the different post types, fell into about 11 different types of social media posts. And here you see that. If you want to take a picture of it, please feel free. I'll give you the next five in just a second. In the course, we teach you about the difference between feed posts, reels, and stories. And so for each of these post types, we teach you how to make them either of those three things. So area overviews. Here, I'm going to give you a few words of wisdom for our folks. First is have a lead magnet. Have a lead magnet. How do you go create a lead magnet? Well, you can go create it on your own, or you can be smart about it and generate leads as you create it, like Robin Mann did. Here's what she did. She went into all these different Facebook groups and said, hey, what's your favorite restaurant in this area and why? And then she'd go in sometime later and go, hey, what's your favorite free activity to do with kids on the weekends in this area? Hey, who's the best landscaper? Who's the best this? What's the best that? Every time somebody replied to her, she would then go DM them and create a relationship. That's called prospecting online. Then she took all of their great, brilliant suggestions and compiled it into a buyer's guide for the area. Now she's got a lead magnet. And she was generating leads the whole entire way. By the way, in the course, we're actually going to give you lead magnets, and we're also working on a lead magnet tool for you, more to come. But once you have your lead magnet for your various types of clients, now we can start making offers online, calls to actions. With area overviews, who do you think you're likely to create as a client from an area overview on Instagram or YouTube? Who's going to be consuming area overviews?
Relocation.
Thank you, Carol Spalding. I really appreciate you. Yes, relocation. So when it comes to your lead magnet for area overviews, you're going to need a lead magnet that's relevant to relocating buyers. Market reports, you're likely going to be generating seller leads, homeowners who want to know more about what their home is worth. So the type of post you create is going to dictate the type of client that you attract. So pick your type of post accordingly. So difference between home tours and my listings. Well, with my listings, you're going to do drone photography, twilight photography, or whatever it is special to make your listings pop so your potential sellers see how you elevate your home tours when it comes to your own listings. Home tours, every single builder in your area would love for you to go promote their listings. Every single eXp agent who has a vacant home would probably love for you to come take a market tour of their property so that you can use that online. Seller tips and buyer tips, those are sitting in your sent box and in your text messages. Your next post is just that simple. That one person had that question, so do others. So go answer it with the camera on and you're good. And by the way, don't try to be polished. When you do, you look like you're trying to be a content creator and not a real estate agent. It's okay to trip over words. It's okay to stumble and joke and laughingly say, easy for me to say, and keep going in the video. You can always edit it out afterwards, and your clients aren't expecting you to be Troy McClure when the camera comes on. They're expecting you to be you. So don't psych yourself out on that type of stuff. Personal stuff, G-rated, please. People often ask, should I have a business account? Should I have a personal account? And the answer is you're not posting enough, so why would you have two different accounts? With these algorithms, they are entertainment algorithms, meaning they thrive on capturing people's attentions for a long time. And they're going to promote posters who post frequently and get engagement. With Instagram, that pretty much means daily. If you want that algorithm to serve you up outside of your followers, you should be posting daily. And you're going, well, what should I post? Don't worry, I got you. I'm going to give you a quick shortcut in just a second. But when it comes to personal posts versus business posts, unless you're in a mankini, if you're in a mankini, do make that personal, do make that lockdown. We don't want to see that stuff. But if you're doing G-rated personal stuff, here's my family, here's what we do on the weekend, things like that, people love to see that. It makes you human. So definitely make that part of your page, your normal posting habits on your one account. Relevant news, this is a great way to create engagement. Engagement is key. If all you're doing with your social media posts is shouting into a megaphone in the middle of a park, the algorithm doesn't like it, and neither do your people. So when it comes to engagement, think about how do I get that human being who's watching this to do something, either comment, like, share. And here's a tip. Jackson Wilkie shared this with me. He'd been posting for over a year, not getting any traffic until it suddenly dawned on him, I'm not telling them what to do. The second that he started telling them to subscribe, the second that he started telling them to share and to whom to share it with, all of a sudden, boom, the lead spigot got turned on. Humans are pretty simple. You got to tell them what to do. So when it comes to engagement, make sure you're building that into your posts. Attraction, great examples of that in the course and in some of the people that we interviewed. But here's the one I want to share with you, Success Diary, because you don't like the way you look, you don't like the way you sound, and you don't know what to say. So I want you to grab your camera, hit this QR code real quick. These are four different playbooks, each one from a different course: TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I want you to take a look at Belle Tunstall. She's the lady in the orange sweater for Instagram. Take a look at her playbook real quick. So here's what Belle does. Think about the 10 points throughout a transaction. Going on an appointment. Sign the agreement with this lovely couple. You're representing them, going to be selling their home, going to be helping them find their home. Going on a tour, found a property, submitting an offer, offer accepted, going on inspection, closing day, moving day, all those various points of the transaction. Here's what Belle does. Instead of this, she does this. She turns the camera around, not on her, and she takes a picture or a video and just puts a caption over it and makes it a story. Two examples. One, she was going on a buyer consultation. So she took a picture of the road she was driving down. On the telephone wire, she bent the text to say something along the lines of, met this lovely couple, going to go help them find their home, their next home. That's it. Boom, done. 30 seconds. Another post she did, a walkthrough. Same walkthrough we all do, except she turned the camera on, filmed the home 30 seconds as she walked through, and then put a caption over it that said, final walkthrough on this gym at 123 King Street. Boom, done. So when you're wondering, what would I do if I were posting daily? That's what you do. Into Belle's sphere and all the people who that the post gets served up to, it looks like she's dominating that market. Looks like for every deal she's doing that she's doing 10. And that's the point. So I hope that's helped you. That's just the tip of the iceberg. By the way, the next Instagram class is going to be in August, so you can sign up for that. That'll be up next week for registration. What questions can I answer for you in the 60 seconds that I've left you?
So I do have a question.
Hey, Demetrius, what's up, man?
Yes, sir. So the open house class that you have coming up on the 23rd, uh,
Yeah,
do we just go to eXp University to register for that?
all of every yes, and it's under Icon Lead Mastery. If you look under live training, you'll find it there. Icon Lead Mastery,
Icon Lead.
massive leads through open houses is the name of that class. Yeah. And by the way, I'm not eXp's chief learning officer. I'm your chief learning officer. Anytime you guys get stuck, you can't find something, you need something, just hit me up on the hub. I'd be happy to help.
Cool, thanks.
Cool. All right.
Another question, where do we find the open house at, Brian?
Hey, Lisa. We're gonna give that to everybody at the open house class next week. And it will be out of French by that time, please believe. And then we'll promote that to the rest of the agents afterward. So do join us next Tuesday, or just be on the lookout for that. That'll be through the hub on the App Store on the hub, by the way. And it's free. Nothing I just showed you costs you a dime more than what you're already paying.
Thank you.
You got it. All right. I know we're at time. Thanks for letting me come play. I really appreciate it. If you have questions about any of this or anything else, please let me know. If there's training we're not doing that you wish we would,
To
please let me
all
know
of you.
that too. We're pretty responsive to it. Sorry, what was that, Bernadette?
Oh, you're good. Do the open houses added to the app post to all of eXp, or can this be gated to a team?
Say that one more time. I'm not sure I understood.
Quick question about the open house app. Do the open houses add to the app post to all of eXp, or just to be gated to a team?
If you add an open house to the open house hub, so all eXp listings are automatically part of that search. Now, if you've got an off-market property for whatever reason, you can add it in there and then it's in your bucket. But if you want it added to the eXp system, then you have to add it to eXp.
Perfect.
I hope that answers that.
I think it does. Were there any other questions that anyone had? Well, thank you, Brian, so much for your time. This
Yeah, of
replay
course.
will be posted to the impact page where everyone can watch it, and we'll also get the deck from Brian, and we can share that as well.
This was
Absolutely.
fantastic. Thank you, Brian.
Thanks so much, Brian.
Oh,
Really
my
cool.
pleasure. Thank you guys very much for letting me come play. All right. Happy Wednesday to you. Let me know how we can help, okay?
Thanks,
Thanks.
Brian.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.